Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang, where the cars and drivers are getting ready to start the Malaysia Grand Prix. There's nothing better than starting from the front row of the grid, and it should mean that Sebastian Vettel is favourite to win today's race.
It's certainly better for a driver to be out in front, as they're able to drive without having to contend with the dirty air and overheating caused by being sat behind another car.
How's it going, guys? It is Ryan and welcome back to episode 2 of our F1 2015 career mode. We are in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for this second round of the championship as we're going straight onto the grid as I'm on P4 from qualifying, which I will explain in a minute. But the lights are on now for the second episode of the career mode. We are away here in Malaysia and we get a bit of a poor start there with a lot of wheel spin. We lose 4th place to Raikkonen already, and maybe also to Hulkenberg as well, which goes round the outside of us there, going into turn 1, so we're going to be braking really late and maybe go down the inside of both of them, but there's just no room to overtake. Raikkonen and Vettel have made contact with each other, and there's just nowhere to go really, and we lose out here to P5 as we get a good exit there on Hulkenberg, and it's a drag race now. Mercedes powered versus Red Bull powered Renault engine. This should be interesting going to this corner, but we've got a brake later than Hulkenberg, and we go up back to P5, so a bit of a poor start from us there, down the packing order from 4th to 5th. But I just want to mention as well, guys, I lost the footage of qualifying, which I was a bit annoyed about, and we qualified in P4, so I will hopefully get qualifying back for you guys for China in the next episode. But anyway, back to the action now, and we see Raikkonen and Vettel side nearly close to each other there, as I think it's Rosberg pulling away from his teammate Lewis Hamilton. It's actually Hamilton leading the race, not Rosberg, so Rosberg's had a shoddy start, but Vettel, the big loser, dropping from 1st to 3rd in the lap on there, as we're only about 3 tenths behind Raikkonen, and we're already putting a gap to Hulkenberg, so this looks like it could be the action of the race so far. It's only been 1 lap, so I don't know why I said that. But we just go a bit wide on the exit of this corner, which I absolutely despise. I always get this corner wrong every time I get to that corner on the track. And we lose a shot of time there, as Raikkonen's going to go down the inside of Vettel going into the final corner. Is he going to get the move done on his teammate? And he does it beautifully, actually. So Raikkonen moves up to 3rd place. Vettel drops from 1st to 4th in the first lap. Don't know if he's got some issues with the car or whatnot, but something to be really a bit worried about for Vettel there. Maybe he's going to go backwards in this race, or he's just saving some tyres. We'll have to wait and see throughout the race. So we need to see how that pans out, but we're just going to stay behind them and see how it goes throughout the race. So we need to see what the strategy is going to be around here on there. But we're going to be going on now to the end of lap 2 nearly, and we make a lot of mistakes there, as you can see, just losing the back end there. And again, we go very wide at the corner, which I don't know what number it is, but we go very wide there, which gives Bottas in the Williams the chance to overtake us here down the back straight, where the DRS would be implemented, but it's for next lap. But just the slipstream and the Mercedes powered engine there, and he gets past us with ease, going nearly almost in with ease, and just gets a better exit than us and moves up to P5. So we drop to P6 as Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race at 39 on there, and we set a 41. So bit of a sloppy start from us there. 2 seconds off the pace is not what I wanted to start off this episode on there, but we're on to the next lap, and we've got the DRS on Bottas, which is quite good on there. So we're going to be going into the final corner, and some people are in the pit lane actually. I believe that's a Mercedes of Rosberg and Vettel in the pits already on lap 3. So a bit bizarre, that pit strategy. As you can see, lap 9 is our expected pit stop on these medium tyres, or the option tyres for this race, as we've got this and the orange striped prime for this race at Malaysia. So I was a bit baffled really at what the strategy there, the strategy call of Mercedes and Ferrari. So we'll take it anyway. We'll move up to P4 on this, as we've got Ricciardo behind us, 1.6 seconds behind, who's catching us up actually. So we're good at the start of the stints, but at the end of the stints, when our tyres start to go off, we're just struggling a bit. So we need to look at the setup a bit more for the next race in China and see where we can maintain tyre wear and grip basically throughout a stint. So we're good on fuel, as you can see. We're 0.28 of a lap up on fuel as Hamilton pits, I believe, from the lead, as we've got Bottas in the pits as well. We're coming in with him, as well as Ricciardo goes round and will take, I think, the race lead, which is very good to see for Red Bull aspects. And Button's up to P6, so McLaren doing pretty well around here as well, which is a bit of a surprise. But we're into the box anyway, and we're just going to get maybe a slight wing. No, we don't. We decide against it. It's a 2.5 stop from the Red Bull guys as we go on to the prime. So we're taking a bit of a gamble here with the strategy as Rosberg sets a 39 flat on there. So this is a bold strategy from us as we're going onto the prime tyres and maybe go onto the options for the end of the race, but the weather could play a factor here. So we have to wait and see, because there are a bit of clouds emerging, as you can see very faintly in the top left hand of your screen. There's a lot of cloud cover, so could that possibly mean rain's on the way, but we don't know as of yet. But we lose the back end there a bit as Ricciardo's right behind us now, who is on the medium tyre. So we've split the strategies at Red Bull, and I'm just holding him up really because there's a car behind him. I don't know who it is, but we are holding up our teammate, which is not what we want. Realistically, we're on different strategies, so we go very wide there, and Ricciardo gets the move done on us already. Up to P7 he goes, and it's Felipe Massa who's behind him, but he's going to get DRS off Ricciardo, so we're going to be a sitting duck down the straight here, and you can just see him right on the back of the mirrors there. And we just need to follow our teammate and just get a good exit off the corner. We get DRS off our teammate, but Massa gets DRS off us, and it's a drag race. And just see the difference there. The speed difference from the Williams to us is just shoddy on us there, but we're going to just break into turn 1 and Massa gets through and we drop the P8. So this strategy may not be working for us at the minute, but later on, once we go to the option tyres, it could play into our hands. So we have to wait and see on there. But as you can see, in the space of 4 laps, it's got dark, and that could mean the possibility of rain. So we'll have to wait and see on there, but the track will be cooler and will help us with our tyre wear. So we could maybe extend this stint all the way to lap 20 possibly, and then go on to the options and save a pit stop. But our tyres look a bit yellow, so we need to be worried about that on there. So Raikkonen, I think, just pitted from the pit stops on the option tyres, but we're ahead of Rosberg. But we lose the back end, but he is on a fresh set of the soft and medium tyres compared to us on the prime. So we're going to be really parking the bus really on Rosberg and help Raikkonen out a bit, which would always be nice really for us, as we're going to be going now into this double right-hander. And we just get about lucky there, but Rosberg with the grip there has got a beautiful run on us there. And he's going to go round the outside of us into this hairpin, but we're going to be holding the inside line and hopefully maintain 4th position. But as you can see, Rosberg's got the better grip and the rear traction there, and just goes beautifully round the outside and moves up to P4. With Carlos Sainz, the next man on the agenda for us, and he's got a bit of a train emerging. So Ricciardo still leads the race, I think, so which is pretty good really for us, I've got to say. He's doing a pretty good job. I think it is, I'm not too sure on that, but we're on to lap 15 now, the next lap, and we're just really trying to hold on really. Nothing too serious there. And as you can see on the car, in the middle part of the car, you can see there is water dripping down, which indicates rain is here. So our strategy has sort of paid off as Vettel tries to go around the outside of us now. We have not still pitted yet from this race. We wanted this rain to come, and it has done. And our scheduled pit stop was around lap 18, so this could really work out for us and save a pit stop, but it hasn't in a way, because the rest of the pack in front of us have already pitted as Vettel gets past us and up to P5. But we've got Valtteri Bottas now behind us. So this has worked, but not worked in a favour. We've not really gained or lost anything at this point. So we're just trying to hold on really and see where this takes us. We get the DRS on Vettel, but just as I said, the Williams straight line speed is ridiculous and just gets past us straight away. Does Bottas, as Hamilton now sets a 39 flat again. So very consistent 39s from the Mercedes duo. So this should be quite interesting really, as we get another bit of DRS off Vettel, and it's a drag race now between us and Bottas. So this could be good going into turn 1 here, and Bottas will hold it around the outside, but we're going to be holding the inside into the corner, just give him a bit of a push there. But we managed to hold on to P6 for the time being as Vettel starts to stroll away. So the next part is, when do we pit is the question, but Bottas has got a beautiful run on us here. Maybe he will get us into this next corner to start the middle of the set. He's going down the inside of us into this corner, and would he hold it? We've got the inside, and we hold it nicely around the outside and hold on to P6. So very good there, but we're going on to the next lap, and as you can see, Bottas did get ahead of us once with the DRS. I didn't really want to show it because we saw too many DRS overtakes here on there, but you can just see the grip, and there's puddles emerging on my car. So this gave me an indication of pitting for the intermediates there. as you can hear there, our Jeff's telling us that we are on the right tyre at the minute, but I wasn't too sure, just from the grip levels and the oversteer and the sliding made me indicate that we should be pitting for the intermediates at point as Ricciardo's pitted actually, which gave me the indication of yes, we are pitting right now. Red Bull are making the early call to go onto the intermediate tyres, which could maybe catch up to the rest of the pack. We have to wait and see as we'll be going now into our box, and this is a bit of a bold strategy here to pit early for the intermediates and see if they can hold on to the end of the race with only 11 laps to go. This should be interesting on there, and we're going to put a bit of wing on as well just to help us with the downforce in the middle sector as it's getting wetter. So this could play into our hands really. We have to wait and see as we've got someone else in the pit lane. I believe that's a Force India or a Mclaren getting ready for a pit stop, so they may be doing the same strategy on us. So this should be quite good to see how this pans out. So on there, as we just get ahead behind Max Verstappen, who hasn't pitted yet, remember, who is on the softer medium tyre. So this will be a good guinea pig testing to see how the tyres will go for us and how the AI's tyres are in these conditions with the track getting wetter. So this should play into our hands really, but as you can see, Verstappen's going very slowly through the corner, which gives us the indication that we are on the right tyre and we've called it perfectly. So we can gain as much time as possible on the AI in front of us who we're battling with and see what we can do as we just easily get past Verstappen there with the grip that we've got on these intermediates, and we move up into the points paying positions already. So that's a fantastic start from us there as a few people are pitting there. So that was the right call to go in a lap. We are a lap ahead of everyone, and the time difference will be about 2-3 seconds, so we can gain a lot of time on the pack on there as we got Carlos Sainz, the next driver ahead of us, 2.7 seconds up the road. So we can see that Hamilton is most likely in the pit lane right now, so seeing as cause Ricciardo's just on the back straight there, so we're not far off him actually. So we need to see how this pans out as we're slowly gaining on Carlos Sainz, and the gap already to Verstappen is already about 4 seconds or 3-4 seconds. So we've done very well. There's a few people in the pit lane there, and Ricciardo's in the pits again. So we must have been on the dry tyres there when we pitted with him. So he's made a bad decision there as the rest of the pack are in the pit lane for the intermediates, and we've called this absolutely perfectly here, and we're going to gain a few positions here. Down the straight we go. We're going to be somewhere around P6 when we come out of the pit stops, and we do so in P6. So we've done very well there from us there. So we've not really gained anything, but we have gained a bit on Bottas there, which is very good. So we have a slight chance of gaining on him at some point now, as Jeff has just indicated we are on the right tyre. So we did make a perfect call on strategy. We're comfortably ahead of Ricciardo, but we're a bit far off Valtteri Bottas, so we need to be very careful here how this pans out for this race, as 45 flat now is the weather, not the weather, the time that we get. 5.7 seconds is the gap to Bottas at this point, and Ricciardo's about 6-7 seconds behind, so nothing really needs to think about here. And there is our teammate, so we could beat Ricciardo 2 races in a row here, which would be a fantastic start from us in our career mode. But not for the championship though, so we have to see how this goes. But obviously pitting early, our tyres are starting to go off a bit here, but the rain is intensifying even more, so maybe the possibility of wets may be needed. So we have to see how this goes. We could maybe stay out to the end of the race on these tyres with 8 laps to go, but we may need to pit onto the wet tyres, and it will give us more grip, but we'll be struggling because I've never experienced wet conditions in this game, and I've had this since July, so this is a new experience for me, what I'm experiencing right now on there. The grip levels in the intermediates are fine for me, but the wets I'm very concerned about, so we need to see how this pans out on there. But the gap is around 5.5, so we are gaining a bit on Bottas at this point, but Ricciardo is slightly off the pace at the minute, so we need to see how this pans out. So we need to see how this goes. So we're going to be now going on to lap 23 now, and as you can see, the weather, the rain is intensifying even more. We're locking up a bit, and we're just losing a bit of grip now. So we need to think now about pitting onto the wet tyres. And will the rest of the AI pit? And someone is in the pit lane. I believe all the leaders are in for the wet tyres. So we'll be going into the pit box now and making our final pit stop, which is most likely going on to be on to the wet tyres to go very wide and getting a warning for track limits there. So a bit cheeky from the stewards, I've got to say, for that going into the pit lane. But we're going to be going in now, and we'll see how this goes. I think Ricciardo's coming in as well, so we may lose out a bit of time here, but we'll have to wait and see if we can do the double shuffle here. And we go onto the wet tyres, and it's a 2.3 pit stop there. So we managed to get a nice one there. And are we going to hold up Ricciardo? And the answer is no. So it's a good double shuffle there from the Red Bull guys. And we've got Roberto Merri ahead of us in the pit lane, so that's not what we wanted. We need to get past Merri as quickly as possible. So we're still in P6 at the minute. Just get a bit of a lock up there on the pit exit there, which is not what I wanted. And as you can see, Merri is holding us up here a treat, which won't do us any favours in catching up to Bottas and to Ricciardo behind, who can gain a bit of time on us here. So we need to get past him as quickly as possible here, do we? And we're going to try and hold down the inside. Merri lifts off for us there, but we're going to brake really late into this corner, which I shouldn't have done. We go very wide there, and Merri has a chance to unlap himself here, but we're side by side with a manner, which I don't think I've ever said before, and will never say it again, as we get past him not easily, and we can go back on our merry ways there. And P6 is probably where we're going to be finishing this race, unless we have a moment. So we need to see how this goes for the last few laps of this Malaysian Grand Prix here at Kuala Lumpur, where it is pouring it down. It is typical Malaysia weather, this is. On there, but we're going to be going on to lap 25 of the race now, and you can see Ricciardo's there. So he is gaining a bit on us here, but not too much. So the gap didn't really change as much to Bottas, and Bottas is pulling away from us there. So we're going into lean, just to save a bit of time with the rear tyres a bit, and also fuel, as it did burn a bit during the intermediate phase. So I was very concerned about fuel levels here. So we need to see how this pans out for us, as we're going to be going into the hairpin now. And we're just being very cautious there. We're just going to bring the car home safely. As you can see, the grip, there is no grip whatsoever. So maybe I should have put a bit of high downforce on the pit stop there. But the gap now is 8 seconds to Bottas, so we are struggling with this setup. It's a dry setup really, but we didn't really know when the weather's going to be like, as Hamilton still leads from Rosberg on there. As we're going to be going now on to the final lap of the race. There's nothing really happened. The gap increased to 11.6 seconds to Bottas, and Ricciardo's 3.9, as Hamilton takes the victory in Malaysia and continues the Mercedes dominance of the season so far. But Ricciardo's still behind us, so a bit concerned really about that. As we're going to be going now onto the back straight for the final time. We've got plenty of fuel now, so I kind of regretted going onto lean for about the majority of that last stage of the race there. So we've got 1.3 laps of fuel extra on there. So we're going to be coming into the final corner. Still want to retire from the race of notice as well. But we're going to go through the final corner and pick up a P6. A bit disappointing race from us, considering we started P4 in the grid. So a bit annoyed, but points is points. And we beat our teammate once again for the second consecutive race. And that will put us in a bit of good stead against our teammate. But we need to see how we go for the next race in China. But now we're going to be going now to the race results of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's have a look at how we did. So as you can see, Lewis Hamilton did take the victory here, with Raikkonen in second place and Rosberg completing the top three. Vettel, the big loser out of that, starting from pole, finishes in fourth, with Valtteri Bottas in fifth, us in sixth and our teammate in seventh, Massa eighth, Sergio Perez in ninth, and Carlos Sainz there completes the top 10 for us there, with Jenson Button and Max Verstappen completing the first half of the page, with Nico Hulkenberg being the sole man to retire from the race, with Felipe Nasser, Stevens and Merri being the only ones being lapped, and Alonso, big loser there, 15th place, but still finished, starting from 18th on the grid there, so pretty good for him. But what does this mean for the Drivers' Championship, you wonder? And as you can see, Rosberg still leads the championship with 40 points, with Bottas now up to second with 28 points, with a point ahead of Lewis Hamilton, with Raikkonen in fourth, and our teammate jumping is up to P5 actually, sorry, with 21 points, with us on 18 points there. So that's not really what we wanted to see in this current standings there, but we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the season pans out from us in our perspectives. And for the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes are putting away with 67 points and they've got a 23-point gap to Williams, with us in third place on 39 points, 3 points ahead of Ferrari, and Scooter Sahar Force India in P5 on 10 points. So it's pretty close between us, Williams and Ferrari, so we need to see how that pans out throughout the season. But the next round, guys, of our F1 2015 career mode is at China, another track that I absolutely hate. but it's the last one before we get to some very strong tracks for us on there. Make sure if we hit 100 likes on this, guys, I will immediately upload episode 3, which is of course in China, and make sure you're ready to subscribe to the channel for more F1 content as well. And until next time, guys, I will see you guys very soon. Don't go changing, guys, and I'll see you guys very soon, and see ya.